Dr. Stephen Friedman is the director of the Center for the Study of Democracy. Is on the line. Dr. Friedman, you wouldn't necessarily be surprised then by the differences given the article you penned yesterday in which you said that it is not a clear blueprint talking about the National Development Plan.
No, I'm surprised, Kolani, because Mr. Vibe is talking as though it is a clear blueprint. I think the problem, quite frankly, as I mentioned in that article, is that we're having a massive national debate at the moment over a document which I don't think anybody's read. Labour is taking up positions, business is taking up positions on a document which seemed to me to be misunderstanding what the whole document's about. People are behaving as though this document is a charter. It's not a charter. It's a 450-page document in which you've got all sorts of ideas. I think the disappointing aspect of the speech last night was that the president didn't spell out in detail which parts of the NDP government is interested in adopting. But on the question that Mr. Vibe is concerned about, the question of labour market policy and those issues, the beginning of the speech made it quite clear that that's going to be an open subject for negotiation. So it doesn't seem to me at the moment that anything is set in stone at all. That's a pity in a sense. I think it would help the public and COSATU and everybody to know exactly what bits of the NDP the government wants to address. But at the moment, we don't know that yet.
And that's exactly the problem, because you point out that everyone is talking about this without necessarily having understood the detail of this plan, but also it's a long-term plan as opposed to something that needs to be implemented immediately.
Absolutely, Kolani. Look, I've called the NDP a basis for a conversation or a basis for negotiation. That's all it was ever intended to be. It's a 20-year vision. It's not a set of things to do tomorrow. I made the point earlier, the document is so long, it's got so many ideas in it. No government on the face of this planet could implement the whole document in the next few years. So what the document really does is set out a set of suggestions, some of which are clearly going to be tackled by government, and some of which are clearly going to be negotiated between government, business, and labour. What we all need as a society is some detail now. What is up for negotiation in the NDP? What bits does the government want to implement now? And how do the labour movement and business feel about that?
Just a final question again, Dr. Friedman, because I'll try and get some more clarity on the forum around this question. What then happens to things such as the new growth path? Are some of the elements of the new growth path going to be implemented in the new development plan immediately, or is there a mechanism to ensure that those are integrated in a long run?
Kulani, if you spoke to Minister Patel and the people around him, the most important part of the new growth path, which everybody is also sort of presenting as some kind of manifesto, the most important part was the idea that there should be negotiation between government, labour and business, which is also a very important theme of the NDP. And if you listen to right at the beginning of the State of the Nation address last night, that is what is now on the table. That is what government is now putting on the table. So I think instead of turning documents into a fetish, we need as a country to start having a serious conversation about the details. Let's stop having this ridiculous argument about whether it's the National Development Plan or the National Growth Path, and let's talk about specifics of what our key economic actors want to do, and let's have a serious negotiation between them.